So we first started seeing this happening on Facebook. Facebook started blocking stories that were pro-Donald Trump or that were anti-Hillary Clinton from coming up in people's feeds, that sort of thing. Obviously we saw the ban on private gun sales and certain types of groups which were considered politically controversial being blocked. Then we moved over to Twitter, and then Twitter basically onto their main board of their sort of censorship board that they've got now, they put Anita Sarkeesian onto it and obviously started banning certain types of behaviours. And if you don't know who Anita Sarkeesian is, she's the woman who said this.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
So I'm sure you can see what you're dealing with, really, that kind of professional victim mentality. But now we're seeing it on YouTube, and we're not seeing it in the sort of conventional way, because they're trying to kind of go under the radar, because Google, of course, always go on about how they're sort of bastions for free speech and all the rest of it. So they're sort of saying, oh, no, we're not censoring you. We're just demonetising stuff, and it's not our fault, it's just because of the advertisers, which we all know is a load of rubbish. Advertisers on YouTube couldn't care less what the content is. What they care about is the audience that they're reaching, and they can tailor that, what they're advertising to that audience. But what they do is, you know, you release a video, you can still have the video, but they take away your ad revenue, so you can't make any money on that video. And it's, you know, it's not too much of a bother for somebody like me, or Callum at EnglishShooting. I mean, he said he makes about 50 quid a month. I'm probably between 50 and £100 a month, which, you know, just lets me buy a few shotgun cartridges or whatever. So it's, you know, it's a hobby, but it's not like the main source of income for us. But some people it is. And to be honest, when this first happened, I kind of felt a little bit like this. I know that's quite surreal, but it's kind of apt, because I can't imagine how the Amazingatheist is feeling right now. In fact, he's probably doing that right now, because, you know, all of his videos fall into this category of what's considered to be controversial. For me, so far, I've had 3 videos demonetised. As I said, I know Callum at EnglishShooting was concerned because he thought that, you know, that because I shoot animals basically, that all of my content would be demonetised, but it hasn't been at all. I've just had 3 videos recently, and I had 1 previously which kind of got remonetised after I complained. But of the 3 that have been demonetised, and as I said, I've already complained about this and to no avail. I've got the Bastille Day Nice massacre, the Charlie Hebdo Paris shootings, and also Hunt Saboteurs and Antis. All 3 of these videos have been apparently, according to YouTube, are you know, too sensitive and therefore are not suitable for advertising. So that means that a lot of these prominent vloggers that we see out there, that we all watch, are going to be pretty stumped to make a video now without this same thing happening to them. I mean, I know it's all algorithms, so people might just be a bit more careful with titles, that sort of thing, but it's a real kind of problem for free speech, because this is the free marketplace of ideas, you know, and we seem to have this kind of social justice warrior, cultural Marxist kind of mentality coming from a certain aspect of the left who are so sure that they're right, they're so stuck up and arrogant in the way they think that basically they consider that anybody who doesn't share their opinion, rather than just having a different world view that they should debate with, they believe that you should be silenced, that you shouldn't be allowed to have that point of view. I mean, it got to the point where Anita Sarkeesian, you know, she got invited to the UN.
As someone had mentioned, it's not just what is legal and illegal, right? Harassment is threats of violence, but it's also the day-to-day grind of you're a liar, you suck, you know, making all of these hate videos to attack us on a regular basis, and the mobs that come from those hate videos, etc.
And like I said, this is the woman who thinks everything is offensive. She thinks everything is racist, everything is sexist, everything is like, you know, whatever. And you know, she said you have to point it all out. Well, I don't care if you think something somebody said is offensive. It doesn't matter. It's just words. It's an idea. Educate them if you think that they're wrong. Talk to them. This is what it's for. I've had plenty of opinions in my life where I've expressed those opinions on an open platform, knowing that it was a safe place to do it, where it was accepted to be able to express yourself, And then I've debated with people, and information's come up that I didn't know about, or they've presented a convincing argument, and I've changed my view on the subject. That's how you kind of evolve in terms of communication. That's a good thing. But if we just build an echo chamber where the only thing that's allowed is politically correct kind of crap, basically. Oh yeah, I have to be careful with that, because apparently swearing's not allowed now either. But, you know, what do we do when we've got people who have, some people who've got, you know, yeah, really, really bad ideas? What about people who are Islamic extremists, or they're, you know, massive racists, or whatever they are? They're never going to be challenged. They're going to you know, retreat into places where they are in their own little echo chamber, where they aren't being challenged because they're having to do it in secret. And that's how extremism is fostered. You know, we need to have a free, open platform to be able to discuss our ideas, and people should be allowed to get paid for that, like they do for any other content. I mean, I couldn't even count the amount of vloggers who make videos all the time that would fall under the category that would get them demonetised now. And it makes you wonder what they're going to do. Because, you know, you can say goodbye to commenting on things like this.
Number one, shut the fuck up for a second. Feminists do not want you to lose custody of your children. The assumption that women are naturally better caregivers is part of patriarchy.
Or, you know, things like that.
Meaningful endorsement in every way, and I was very proud to have.
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
In every way.
And how did you talk about Senator Warren? Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities?
That's all a no-go area now. All you can do is, yeah, make, I don't know. I mean, I suppose, yeah, YouTube, like what, PewDiePie or PewDiePie, you just make stuff that I don't even, I can even make the head or tail of it. You know, just complete rubbish, basically, just sort of vacuous entertainment. I mean, if, you know, is that what they want? I mean, I know people will say, oh yeah, but YouTube's a private company, or Google's a private company, Facebook's a private company, they can do what they like. And yeah, that would normally be the case. But when you've got a complete and utter monopoly on communication worldwide, something needs to be done about it. And I hate to say to our American friends watching, it's you guys who are going to have to do something about it. Because you're going to have to essentially propose to your congressman and say, look, YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, because of the position they're in, because of the monopoly that they've got on the freedom of information, the communication between people, they need to be held to account to the First Amendment of the Constitution as if they were a government-owned company. Now, I know that could set a dangerous precedent because, you know, private companies in America shouldn't normally be held to that at all. But I can't see why an exception can't be made for those specific corporations, which could then be rescinded if they become irrelevant and then another company pops up. But anyone who's got that monopoly on information should not be allowed to censor people. Because, well, we know where that ends up. That's, you know, those sorts of societies based around that form of communication end up like, you know, Nazi Germany or the Soviet Union or wherever, North Korea. That's what you end up with. And then you end up with extremists within those countries who've never been challenged, who, yeah, go nuts. Because they never have a chance to even find out the holes in their views. They never get a chance to hear what is an alternative point of view. So maybe that's the difference. Maybe this is why there's a coalition now almost of people on the right and people on the left who are skeptics, who are fighting against this, because they see the fact that everyone's got a right to an opinion. There's objective things in life that are either just true or not true. You know, we know the sun comes up in the morning, we know that gravity works, that sort of thing. Everything else is a world view. Christ, even being a social justice warrior to a certain extent is a world view, if you want to have that. If you think everyone should think the same and feel the same, whatever, I mean, that is a view you can have, but what you can't do is exercise it and say, no, nobody's allowed to express their opinion, because that's just, well, it's terrible for everyone. But either way, I'll keep making videos as long as you guys keep watching them, and yeah, check me out next Tuesday. I'll have something else for you.